This is your Monday.
You know our theory of what we hate.
I mean, cilantro?
Yeah, I hate cilantro too.
It's weird. I hate that for us.
I don't like the theory. You know this of childhood being
your excuse
for your behavior as an adult. What I mean by that is a lot of therapists, when you go to therapy, they want to go back to your childhood to say, oh, you're doing this because of this from your parents, right? Like they're like, oh, you are acting this way because.
Yes.
So here's what I've come to learn. Chloe and I read every single night. I ran out of books, so I'm into this relationship book, but it's very psychology heavy in terms of the talk of therapy and the whys of therapy. Now, if you talk to someone who goes to therapy, the reason the therapist can have a conversation with you and help you uncover things is because therapy is a textbook. So human behavior is in a textbook and they can understand human behavior based on A, B, C, D. You learn about it, you learn how to bring it out. So it's not like someone is a gifted therapist. There's many gifted therapists. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
it's not
they
like
have to
someone's going to give you the magic potion just by seeing them that everything's going to feel great and it's going to be magical.
And many therapists can have many different effects and there's many different ways of therapy. So,
and there's also, just like in absolutely any profession in the world, there are good ones and there are bad ones and there's a lot of medium ones.
100. Then there's relationship therapists. Then there's trauma therapists. There's so many different kinds of therapists, but they all go to school and learn from a book. And then they go to conferences and they learn from a book. Okay, so really it's human behavior and human psychology are in a textbook.
Yes. And I just want to interrupt right there because I have like a completely relatable story. It's short, but I don't know if I told you. I think I did, but my daughter was saying how when we went to California and she missed a week of school.
Yes.
That if she missed that week of school with the teacher teaching it, there's no way that she could go and learn it. It had to be from the teacher. And I said, your teacher is literally teaching from a book.
Yeah.
The same book and Google and AI, all the same information. You can get it no matter what. Teachers are amazing, but the teachers aren't amazing because of the things they're teaching. Amazing teachers are because of the relationship that they have with students and all that.
And make them want to how they're delivering the information.
But the information, I'm like, it's not like she's got a special knowledge that you can't find somewhere else.
She has a curriculum to deliver and hopefully has an interest in the curriculum so can add storytelling to make it make sense to you as a grade 10 versus an adult.
And for young people and adults, some people don't realize this. They think that the only way they can actually get information is from another person.
So having 2 degrees with not like, oh, look at me, just having previous knowledge in psychology, in working in therapy, with having knowledge, this book makes sense to me. It basically, I have to find the author, it basically follows 5 couples for therapy sessions and what roadblocks come in, the most common roadblocks she sees as a therapist in therapy. I understand now why childhood matters today, but rather than using it as a excuse, if you could learn about yourself and why you do things in the current situation, then you're looking at yourself and being like, oh, that makes a little bit of sense in what I'm saying. And I was saying to Natalie, was I saying to you how my kids are afraid of conflict? That's me because I don't yell at them. I think we're fucked with gentle parenting. I guess it's a Monday. I think we're fucked with gentle parenting and like over attachment. Sorry, I have not done any research on this. Just as I'm reflecting and watching.
Well, we did do a podcast a little while ago talking about that and how researchers are saying,
well, I'm watching in real time and I'm like, holy fuck. Because my kids don't actually know what to do. They think when they're like, one of mine said when they call their name, they're like, like they think they're going to be in trouble. And I'm like, oh my God, if I had yelled more. I mean, if I had been, we don't raise our voice in this house. I'm not saying we should all raise our voice. I'm saying if you raise your voice and then you go back and be like, hey, you know what? I probably shouldn't have raised my voice, and you can work through why you raised your voice. I was really frustrated in the moment. I'm not mad at you.
I do want to let you know that if my name was ever called, even probably to this day in a group of people, if someone was like, Natalie, can you stand up and share? I would die. I'm better now, but I would never want that. And I got yelled at.
I just think I have two, I think I have two conflict adverse, and the one who isn't is in really high sports and gets yelled at a lot more than the other two. And they don't like the conflict. And I think conflict's really important in a household, as long as you can go back and fix it and your child isn't trying to fix your conflicts. So if you are the one who's the easy one, or you have a kid who like shoulders the emotions of the house, and I think we can all kind of think of them in our heads when they try to make the house better so there's not as much conflict. I think that conflict's good in a house, but working through it's just as good. So if you do lose your shit, I think that's great, but I think it's great to go and be like, hey, my bad. Not great. I mean, you shouldn't lose your shit all the time.
It's sometimes it's just like it's if it's not in your nature, and I know it might be because of you were avoiding conflict when you're younger, but if it's not in your nature to lose your shit, like you're not holding yourself back from losing your shit. You're not.
Well, I know why. I know why I'm conflict adverse. I hate conflict.
Right.
I actually said to my husband, I had to say to him, I'm like, you know what? I've realized about myself that when you try to parent them, I feel like it's conflict. And that's bad on my part. Like I got to work on that, and I'm going to work on it.
We're almost done here, Catherine.
In life?
Yeah, like parenting. Like it's not.
No, it's never too late though to show them. And I'm like, your way of parenting is different than mine, but your way of parenting makes me feel like unsafe. So I go in and I'm like, don't do that. They're fine. We'll work on it.
It almost feels like he's challenging your style, but he's actually just being himself.
Yeah, and his style's not wrong,
right?
But I tell him it is based on the way I go and rescue them. But in return, the level of expectation in my household, like no one puts their stuff away. Nobody. But if it was him, when he goes and tries to like, put your shit away, I'm like, they're 12. Like I rescue them.
Know, and you know what the crazy thing there is that if he had led in that department, they would have actually been better in the house.
And the best one is my son, who spends the most time with him. So I reading it has made me be like, oh, it made me reflect and be like, why? Basically, the book talks about each person's trigger and why they react how they react, and it all goes back to your childhood, because you know how they say the years before 5. You are learning as you're living. So you're coping without really being self-aware enough to understand the pathways you're making in your life. So you become an adult. And really, if you could learn to become more self-aware of what your childhood was. And I think that when people get negative comments, or, you know, the trolls online, the people who it really impacts are people pleasers. Because you want everyone to like you naturally. But the people who often, a lot of us are naturally people pleasers because there's an expectation, and we've just become the people who...
I would say that in general, I'd like to be a people pleaser with the people that matter to me. But if
You're
somebody
not.
online... No, like, I mean, I'm always trying to, like, you know...
You're not devastated if someone doesn't like you.
No, but especially if I don't know them, I could care less. If I know them and I found out that they didn't like me, I would be like, I really, truly don't understand why.
I think
really?
I think the natural reaction though is when someone doesn't like you, it's a sense of out of control, and you automatically, if you think about the emotion that comes with a stranger who leaves a stupid comment, and then you're like, you get kind of like, you want to fight back in a way, but if you realize that that's just because you want them to like you. Really, that's what it is.
You know, we see that a lot, and obviously this is really relatable to our children because we have to look at it through their eyes too. But it is interesting seeing like they could be in their 20s, they could be in their 30s, they could be 40s, 50s, but influencers who are like, I'm fucking sick of you talking to me this way, and I want to. I'm not going to let you do that anymore, and I'm going to call you out, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm like, and you feel the hurt, and and it really does hurt them, and they cry. And, you know, you want to just say to them, like, who the fuck cares?
But when it's you, it feels like a personal attack, which I can validate and appreciate that that's how it feels. And I'm like, there was a comment actually in one of the videos being in that Chloe's almost falling asleep at the end, but she's singing every word and she's sitting there and her eyes are like kind of dropping. And she has a cell phone in her hand. And someone's like, tell me that's not a cell phone in the comments, right?
Did you see the other comments? Just wait for all the comments of, why do you have your phones out? Why are you on your phone?
Oh, okay, I didn't see. So I thought two things. You know what? And I'll never forget one story I learned. The very first story I learned, I had so many great teachers when I was in school, and you probably had the same one or a similar story in like child needs work and social work. I had so many just like really passionate teachers who you learn, you're just so.
None of those people go into teaching and into that area of teaching if they're not passionate.
Just passionate, and like you really like make you challenge your thinking and like really open up your eyes to sort of the world in a different way. But I'll never forget that, and this isn't my story, but I was like, just imagine what you're doing. Everyone walks through this lens of thinking they know who everybody is when really no one knows who anybody is, let alone themselves. I've told you the story where there was a mom on a subway and her kids were fucking going bonkers up and down the subway. And she's just sitting there like kind of in a comatose. And someone looks at her because her kids are just fighting and like pounding each other. And she's just like not saying anything. And they're like, can you fucking do something about your kids right now? And she kind of like looks at them like, what? And they're like, your kids. Like they're out of control. And she looks at them and she's like, I'm sorry. They just like, my husband just died. Like I'm like, and the whole narrative of what those kids were doing was just like, okay, understood. And I thought to myself, you know, let's just say you're commenting on someone's post like that. What if Chloe was diabetic and had to have her phone because it was her wireless port was there and it had to go back and forth and check? I'm like, would you feel like a dickbag then if I was like, oh, by the way, she's medically compromised, so she has to check this? What if you're, and I wrote back, but I was like, I don't really know why I'm writing back, but I'm going to say to you just so in perspective, she has a phone on her because she wasn't sitting with me and she was going with another parent and she was taking 3 kids and it sounded chaotic downtown. Everyone was like, oh my God, it's so crazy. So I kind of put it on her so I could track her in case she got lost and didn't know what to do if the mom and her got separated. So for me, it was a safety thing. Doesn't matter if it was or it wasn't, because my older kid, it wasn't for safety. No. It was because she has a phone. No. And I didn't feel, I said, I don't really know why I'm explaining myself to you, but this is the situation. They're like, tell me it wasn't a phone. And I'm like, it wasn't, but it was. Like, do you want me to say it wasn't? Okay, it wasn't, but yes, it was.
I also love that. Like, why do you care how I'm parenting my child? And the truth is, I've wanted to give TJ a phone for the past 2 years. I want him to have a phone.
Yeah.
And I've got my reasons. And if you care that my kid has a phone, like, you really, like, have you already raised your children? Do you have children? Why do you think that what the decisions I make for my children have anything to do with decisions you make for your children?
Which was just to the point of what I felt. Like I was ready to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But I think we are so quick to just go and jump on people, but it's because of our own insecurities and what we don't know about ourselves, rather than if something triggers you to write a comment like that, you must think that the children today are like lost, or, you know, there's judgment behind that comment.
Do you think that you felt defensive about your daughter having a phone in that moment?
For sure. I did. For like, no, not defensive. I was just sort of,
like, you're like,
I saw the comment because most were positive, and the ones who, I mean, there was another one who's like, it must be nice to pay thousands of dollars to go to a concert for her to like
be too tired to stand up.
I was like, it's 11:15. I was like, I was like, she's not less appreciative because at 11:15 she sat down. I was like, no one's less. How are we? Like, that is so unswifty of you to even say that. I was
just thinking, after being at the Taylor Swift concert and the positivity, everyone being so kind to each other, everyone talking to each other that don't know each other, for all the people who come on and say something negative about this concert at all, and if you happen to not be going, there's a reason you're not going.
It's so unswifty.
It is just like, you know, you could have won that contest. It could have possibly happened, but the energy you're giving out will not be rewarded.
I like that, Natalie. Put into the universe. Yeah, I was just like, so I saw those and I was like, oh my God, if you can't appreciate a 9-year-old, because they're like, I wouldn't have fought. I'm like, oh my fucking God. It's the sweetest moment ever where she's so tired, but she just keeps singing, like just singing with her eyes closing. And when I was thinking back to the book of childhood, I was thinking, you know, there's just so many people are so unfucking self-aware, so unaware of why they do what they do.
Well, and I also think, though, a lot of people they'll misinterpret what that means to understand how you are, what you are, and say, I can be like that because of this. I can be like that because of what I went through. And so you have to be okay with that. Instead of being like aware of, I am this way or I am triggered because of those things, but I am going to turn it and make it so that it's a positive part of me.
Or I'm aware of why I'm doing this and I can fix it. Not fix it, but I can change the course or the narrative, because so much of our relationship is reactive to the person rather than being like, okay, I'm annoyed, you're annoyed. Why are we? If everyone before they wrote on Instagram, what annoys me about this? Why am I so annoyed that I'm going to leave a comment? And then they thought back to why they were annoyed. I bet it would be such a deeper issue than what you are just doing in that moment. And if you look at like conflict on each level of like why you get in a fight with your spouse, it is the same fight you've been having since the day you met.
It is absolutely. I remember in my first years of a relationship, I remember hearing that, and I'll never forget it. And I've been like 20 years. It is the same couple things, the same thing over. And I've probably heard about it.
And just so you know, it's probably something that goes back to both of you that 100%. You did either not learn how to like that you get triggered in it, and neither one can move past why you're fighting. But it goes back to a history that you might not even
clear.
You might not even be aware of from when you were younger. Yeah. And when I was there's one person in the one couple in the book, and she changes all the names obviously, and it's like you wouldn't know who it was, but just sort of like, oh fuck, here we go again, back to his childhood of why he may be acting like this. I'm so fucking sick of hearing about why he may be acting like this, but he is acting like that, and it probably goes back to then. But can he acknowledge it and be like, oh fuck, I'm acting like that because of this, now I want to change that? Or is he like stuck in the pattern of always doing that? And I mean like the behaviors of shutting down silent treatment. Silent treatment is probably the worst form of everything.
Well, I gave a big silent treatment this week for like
to who?
4 hours to my kids.
Okay, but 4 hours is very different. If they know you're mad, that's one thing. Silent treatment with no the people who just give silent treatment who come home and just don't talk to you, and you're like, are you mad at me? Are you not mad at me? That's fucked.
You shouldn't have to live in a house not knowing why you're in trouble.
Silent treatment's not like, it is not okay. If you are like, hey, I'm kind of upset, I need a little bit here to like regroup, I'm just going to go process, I'm mad about this, that's fine. But if you're just silent, imagine you're telling me something and I just stare at you. They did a study on babies, and when the caregivers gave no reaction, just like straight, they got in so much distress, and their brains like actually were like upset, and they got upset by the not knowing what that person was thinking. So it was a physical response. So I'm like, if you do not give your kids silent treatment, if you need a break, fine, but don't do that.
And I texted them all and I said, this is what I'm doing and this is why I'm doing it. And they respected it. I mean,
but you said something of why it bothered you. Imagine they just walked in and you were silent, slamming things on the stove, and they had no idea, and you wouldn't tell them why. And it went on for days. And people do this.
Yeah.
But their parents did that. And it's like a form of power, control. Like kind of abusive, if I don't say, because if you are living with someone, you don't know what the fuck you've done. It's my like worst. I think that's the worst thing you can do to like someone you love is just bounce out and ignore them for days on end and just be like, I'm just not talking to you.
I just can't imagine how, like, for the person that's doing that, how much energy that would take to be silent for that long, because, you know, you might want to like make a comment about something might be funny, and you just got to continue on with your like.
And do you even know what you're mad at if you go on for so long?
Oh my God, no. And then how do you snap out of it?
I think that's the problem, is you kind of forget what you're mad at.
Yeah.
And then it just buries underneath, and then you come back again and it will happen again. Anyways, the book is super fascinating I kind of finally had a aha moment of why childhood matters, but not making the excuse for behavior, but understanding, use it as a path to understanding who you are and why you may do things.
And
that
it's
you do.
also interesting. I mean, and thank God we're all raised differently. So we're all different kinds of people, right? We all react differently. We all have different personalities. We all have different, like, thank God we weren't all raised the same.
Oh my God, yeah. And every child is a people pleaser. Every single child wants to please you.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not their job to shoulder your feelings. I always say that too. That's a big one. Like I say to them, if I'm mad at you, I'm going to tell you I'm mad at you, and I'm going to tell you why I'm mad at you. You do not have to guess if I'm mad at you. If I look stressed, I've just got something else in my head. It's not you. You will know 100% if I'm mad at you or if there's a problem, because you'll see your kids. What's wrong? Are you okay? Mom, what's wrong? Are you okay, Mom? They are watching you.
Yeah.
Even when you're in your head.
Oh my gosh. I remember, obviously I used to worry about what my mom was thinking or doing, and we were driving in the car, and I would just always look over at her, because I didn't know if she was going to be like upset or sad or like whatever. So I would look like this, and she would just be facing forward. And then she would just, I remember her being, she's like, I'm okay. And I was like,
without you asking.
Yeah, but she could see me looking at her, and she just wanted to be like, I'm okay. And then I'd be like, okay, but because she knew that I couldn't relax, because I was worried if she was okay. And she would just be like, I'm okay.
Would you relax?
Yeah, I'd know that at least it was like we were in a stable situation. You know what I mean? Because she was aware of me looking, and if I knew that she was aware of me looking at her, then I knew she was still aware of me, so she was still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if she stopped noticing me looking, then I'd be like, oh.
My favorite thing is now too, kids have so much more language than we had when they were younger, and they'll be like, "Mom is overstimulated right now," which is
always
hilarious, because it's like dinner hour and everyone's like,
it really is they use that word a lot, but that really is the word, and you can feel it happening to yourself, and I can see it happening to my kids, and it really is when things get loud, when things get crazy, when there's a time crunch and everything's just
and the TV's on and people are screaming. It's like I get so overstimulated when when the TV's on and people are talking, and YouTube kills me. Like it's like I can't process in my brain because there's so many noises happening.
And their phones are loud, and then their computers are going, and the TV, and then
you're trying to get dinner,
beeping, and the fridge is open,
and the dog's asking for food, and you're like, you just ate and you're on a diet. Can you settle down? I can't give you any more food.
Overstimulation is exactly. I would say that being really overstimulated has always been the hardest part in motherhood.
It is. It's so.
And now the teenagers are allowed to be overstimulated.
It's so valid. I would say moms live on overstimulation.
Yeah.
It's like it's like you're like this. Oh, it's in your face. It's like we're on, like the cartoon where their eyes used to be like,
we're wearing, and they're all asking you something at the same time, and you want to get to everything. Like, I'd love to help you with that, or I'd love to check my clock to tell you what time it is.
Just go check your own fucking clock.
What time is it? Are you kidding? Does it look like I have time to look at what time it is?
And my pet peeve, sorry, this is not a rant, but this is a rant. We have no food in this house. What do you want me to order? Food. I am not ordering you food if you can't tell me what kind of food you want. You say you want food, but you can't tell me what food you want. Well, then what am I going to do? Go on and get surprise food that you want? It makes me livid.
Food. We don't have any food in this house. And I literally say to them, like, if I had the time and if it was my job to just feed you all day long, I could make dinner for 150 people with the food that's in here. You need to learn how to cook things.
I know. And they don't know what they ever want. Just food.
You know what? They really need to get versed better, because the air fryer can cook everything.
I know.
Vegetables.
I know.
Potatoes. Meat.
Hash browns. Pizzas. Literally anything.
Old McDonald's French fries.
Anything.
Yeah, I think that we're going to have to sit down. I told Mark, I was back at him with the computer and teaching them about the computer. We're going to have an air fryer session, and he's going to lead a Mac computer class.
Yes.
Finally I said, why? One of them has been procrastinating on doing a project and keeps asking me to help with the topic. And I don't know shit about this topic. So I'm like, what is wrong with that man right there? Why don't you ask that man?
Dads are super smart.
2 hours later, Dad's already gone to hockey. He's gone with other people. Come up. I go, how did that? He goes, oh, no, he didn't do it. Okay, so now I guess I'm going to do it with you.
You know, dads are really good at flying under the radar and like not, and I know everyone's like, they should be 50-50. I think
I can very good at flying under
I can self-admit, we did too much too soon.
We did it. I know.
If you are a new mom, listen to this, sit down.
Do as little as you can, because as little as you can is still going to be really good, because you're a mom and you care and you love them.
Sit down and let dad do it, and don't be mad at him for what he's not doing, because if you do it, you are doing it. So no one's going to be like, I robbed the bank. No one's going to say to the cop, it was me. It's just sort of, they don't even know how to offer help, because you've already done it all and told them they did it the wrong way.
That's right.
I want your help. And then when they go to help, you're like, not that, I'll just do it. No.
I just don't know how I could have possibly get caught up in homework. They know where he went to school.
It's really good we're going away.
They know.
But they know that you'll sit down and do it.
They know he knows how to do school. They make jokes about the fact that I didn't go to school.
Basically, we have to quit tour because we have to stay home and do high school. Basically, it's karma. Karma's a bitch. It's like, oh, you're too busy. We were smart when they were younger. Now it's like there's no time.
I know.
It's literally.
I'm really good at some topics though.
I know you are. She's like, what do we get? I'm like, oh
my. What do we get?
I know.
I didn't help them as children at all, because like that kind of stuff I don't like. It's not interesting. Yeah. But when it starts to get interesting.
And then she's like, no, take this course.
Yeah.
I don't want to take that course. Take that course.
Trust me, you're going to love this course.
Because
I said to her, she's doing like really well in this one course. And I was like, this is life. This is like, because obviously it makes sense to me because it's part of my life. And then I try to get them to realize that this is going to be the things that matter in life.
Yeah, I know you do. Very hard. You're very passionate about drama and walking in the rain.
Walking in the rain. I'm great at speech writing.
No, I'm saying you
and accounting.
You try to tell all of them to go take drama. We had car rides where she tries to convert them into drama.
I don't have one drama. Not one of them has.
Yes, one's in drama. He said he's doing great.
Yeah, I know, but I want him to be in the production.
Oh my God!
And he has no interest. And they're not. If he's just taking a drama class, that's good. Okay, so I got one taking drama. I don't think what everybody realizes, this is a great class for confidence, public speaking, creativity.
I have no affection for any classes they take. I don't even know what classes they take. I'm not even.
Wait till they take world religions. We love that one.
They've already picked going in grade 11.
We don't know world religions?
I have no idea.
I think our sons will do it in grade 9. Actually, you know what? My son never did either. They better still be offering that. That was the best class ever.
I have no idea. She picks her courses. Now they have to do paths. They pick a thing. They go on a thing.
Is it fun though? Any of her classes?
I do no homework. I do no homework. I don't even.
I feel like all the homework that happens here seems to be math and English. That's what I hear about and see all the time.
English is with one. But math is all their dad. Their dad has to come home and they all wait for him and they sit beside him and they all do math together. He has a lineup for math. They're like, they'll text me like, I need you for math tonight.
And they get tutors.
Oh, fuck.
Well, that's why I get tutor, because I'm like, no one's going to, we can't do math.
Yeah, because the homework is a bussin'. I mean, we have so much homework. It's kind of crazy how much homework we have. Although one seems to be tapering off a lot and it's not the one you would think. I don't identify with homework right now. And I was like, oh dear God.
I love that.
I don't identify with homework.
I have to say, I think that if I was in school, I understand that homework is like teaching you how to be independent and do work on your own. So I understand the concept. That being said, school is a lot of hours. I like when they give a room for independent work in school. And I'd say all the teachers get to come together and they each get to offer one small assignment a week. No, not each. Like, science gets it 1 week. English gets one.
I know. I don't even have time to.
Well, where is there enough quiet in the house to get your homework done? These poor children.
I mean, wait till they're in a dorm and it's frosh week.
Don't they all go to the library?
You just didn't someone.
Because is the library a good place to go study? I'm like,
She did not say study. She just said,
"Is a good place to go?"
Good place to go, and you're like, to make out to do what?
I know. I had no idea what for. She went to the public library.
Public.
Yeah.
Go to Starbucks. It's more fun.
Oh, it's way too distracting for people like us.
Understood. I mean, that's why you go. I mean, I made it through high school without studying or doing homework once.
Yeah, me too.
You're supposed to say, you didn't actually make it through.
No, well,
That's true. I failed.
I mean, the best class I did, I studied drunk before going out on Monday nights.
Yeah, no, I literally got 40s. I didn't. I failed everything. And then I just left. Failed. Not just didn't pass. Fucking failed.
Well, I did. I just had to do the meets like 3 times, and only at night and in the summer.
See,
for what purpose?
Everything is
I ended up getting into college as an adult anyways.
Everything is solvable.
I guess it's just wasting time.
I just want to also let you know, I'm going to link the book down below for you guys, that book that I'm reading, because if you are into psychology, because it really is like different attachments, different ways that people navigate. There's every kind of personality and what their childhood was like. I'll link it for you because sometimes it's interesting to read, and I do like that there's stories of people.
All right, guys. Well, share whatever your parenting conundrum is.
Oh, I should say one more thing. So, I told you this, but we're in the retirement home. We're at lunch. Chloe's with me. There's her own tables, so couples will go have their lunch together. Fucking domestic. She doesn't know how loud she is. And I thought to myself, they're literally fighting over I don't even know why I talk anyways. Don't even.
She told me this, and I immediately thought to myself, they've been together for 50 years, and the thing that they're arguing about right now is nothing fucking new. She's been saying that to him since she married him when she was 21 years old.
Might as well not even talk. I might as well sit under the table to eat lunch.
Could you imagine how many times he's heard that?
It's so loud. And Chloe's like this.
Do you know how many times she said that?
I know. Why do you ask me for things if you're not going to take the advice I'm giving? You complain and you don't want to hear what I say. So if you're going to complain, what's the point of me talking? I'm like, oh my, say it louder for the people in the back.
I'm dying to know what they were arguing about. What did he ask her for?
He
probably didn't ask her. He was probably just like, my toes are cold. She's like, wear your wool socks. And he's like, oh, my toes are cold. And she's like, you don't listen to anything I say.
And then there's other couples who live in there, but not in the same unit. Genius. Let's be married, but move out. But you have your own place. I'll have my own place.
And pay for 2 units.
Yeah. See you later. See you later, alligator.
I would just get like, are there 2 bedrooms?
Yeah, but no, they want their own space. I don't even want to see you. If I'm married to you for 50 years, I don't want to see you actually. I'll see you at dinner if I feel like it.
Yeah.
You go there, I'll go here.
Yeah. And then just intentionally eat dinner at different times.
Maybe. If you can't figure out, you're not my fucking problem anymore.
And their kids put them in there. So they're just like, you guys just stay in the same place because it's easier that way.
Yeah, we'll come visit you. You first, you next. It's just hilarious. It's hilarious. Relationships are hilarious.
Oh my God, people are going to die in there.
Yep. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, they get to leave.
It's a beautiful place. You love death. I don't even know why you said, oh my God.
Oh, I feel bad because I know other people feel sad when people die.
I mean, they put a little poster up like, oh, so-and-so left us. It's great. And then someone new moves in.
That is exciting, actually.
It's great. It's there's nothing sad about about retirement homes. In the right ones are not depressing. They're actually quite magical.
That'd be so exciting when someone new comes in.
It's like a new lease on life.
And you're sure we can't get in there, right?
Not right now, no. But I am telling you, I am saving my money so I end up in a place like that.
In a hot place.
I would have 2.
2.
I'm saving. I have a secret account. Just fucking funnel it in there. Saving.
How old do we have to be?
I think like 60.
That is like no time.
You don't even have to figure out like what you're eating.
You don't even have to buy groceries or cook.
No.
You
have a driver. You don't even have to drive.
See, I think I could.
Someone cleans your room.
Oy.
It's the best. Dinner is served.
Can't wait.
And you can have an ice cream sundae every single meal.
And there's a bar.
Like vanilla and chocolate sauce.
And there's a bar.
With a cookie.
And a bar.
And a bar. You can have and there's a bar night like Friday, Saturday. It's amazing. Okay, bye.